Hi everyone, I'm Yannick, the Influencer Marketing Manager at Ranieri, and today we're talking with Tom, the Tech Chap, and we're going to be discussing CES and influencers. So Tom, why should brands be bringing influencers to CES?
I mean, CES is huge. It's the biggest tech show of the year, and if brands want coverage, then they're going to want to take influencers. Obviously, journalists are going to go anyway. Some influencers, if they can afford it, are going to go anyway.
So what do you need from brands to cover the launches for this?
Yeah. If you can provide a hands-on private demo room or pre-briefings, all these things really do help us get better content, which means in turn the brand gets better exposure. If they're taking us there, then flights and accommodation being covered is just really, really helpful. CES is expensive.
What would be a standard day for an influencer at CES?
Get up super early, go and find some very, very strong coffee, and then probably go to your first appointment or meeting. And so we'll be going between hotels and the convention center throughout the day, getting hands-on coverage, trying to get some footage of the products, doing voiceovers. 80% of the time, we're just going between hotels. I only went to the convention center once last year and the year before. So a full day of that, and then usually some sort of showcase. So you've got things like PepCom and showstoppers in the evening on some nights. So that's a great way of getting coverage of smaller brands in a sort of dense area. Usually get food with that, and then usually there's a club night or a bar or some crazy Vegas thing that has to happen. Networking, we'll call it.
Networking. All the extra fun stuff.
All the extra fun stuff till 4 a.m. and then we'll start again.
So what would you say your best tips are for brands who weren't really able to host the influencers but they still want to get content from them at CES?
You can't guarantee it, but as early as possible, try and book appointments, because we will have full schedules probably for the whole week. But it's all about timing and as early as possible, really.
So the Tech Chap actually used to work at Trust Reviews. So what I want to know is, what is the difference working for a media company and being an influencer at CES?
They're fundamentally the same. You're producing the same kind of content, or at least I am. I'm covering the same kind of tech products. I guess the two big differences are that now I have to do everything myself. I have to organize the appointments, get in touch with it, or be contacted by the PRs and the brands. I then have to present it, script it, edit it, shoot it. It's an end-to-end sort of thing. Quite rarely do you get influencers who have teams. Maybe they have one or two. The big guys have a few. Generally, we have to do everything ourselves, which is more time-intensive. It means we can produce less content, and therefore we have to be a bit more strict on what we do cover. We're there to create content, whether it's videos for YouTube, Instagram stories, Facebook posts. One of the other advantages of having a media company like that is that having a bigger team is that sometimes they can send stuff back home, they can edit it or they can sub it, that sort of thing. So you can just cover a lot more when you have more people like that. So influencers generally try to be a bit more, not necessarily more social, but we're there to network our own brands. For me, CES is 75% networking and being seen to be there and meeting people, getting those contacts for future work, which is so important. 25% actually that product launch in terms of the long-term goals for me. So that's probably a little bit different between influencers and media outlets.
And I think one thing I really like about having influencers at CES is that personalized touch to the content they produce.
We try to.
What can brands do to get the most coverage post-CES?
If you can provide us with the review samples of the products we've seen, I guess check up on us, make sure we have everything we need. If there's any updates, any further reviewers guide, if there are product updates that are going to change software or anything, let us know. Stay in touch.
So if you're a brand going to CES, I really want to know from Tom, what is the best way for dealing with influencers at CES?
We're just there to get content and try and make the best videos or Instagram posts or whatever our platform possible. If you have perhaps a bar or a club night or any sort of social event that you're hosting, bring us along to that. It's a great way to sort of break the ice and create better content. To attract us to your stall, to get us to be engaged, to produce the best content, make it Instagram worthy. I might do a full video, I might do 3 videos a week, but I'll do 7 to 10 Instagram posts a week. One thing I think brands do like to do, let's say start some sort of competition. People had to create an Insta story or an Instagram post about their favorite feature or trying out a product at the show. Afterwards, if everyone hashtags it and adds it to the brand, you can actually get all that information. You can put it into a supercut video. You can sort of show off what everyone's experience was like or opinions of it afterwards. So there's lots of creative ways to get us there, but as I say, we're there for content. Content is king, so make it interesting. And generally we will deliver more rich content, photos and videos, rather than just the written word. So if you have a colourful stall or a crazy holographic thing going on, or some fancy light shows, we love a bit of RGB lighting and stuff. We're like children with bright lights. That's a lot more interesting, and we're more likely to cover it on some social media platform.
Yeah. So I'd really like to thank the Tech Chap for being with us here today.
Thank you for having me. It's been great.
No problem. And so what we want you to do now is tell us what are your thoughts and views on influencers at CES. And if you have any queries for us, please get in touch at influencers@raniericons.com. Bye.